Good morning everyone, it is day 25. I've had a few too many 0 days in Whangarei, visiting my good friend, and I'm back on trail sort of. So I'm doing the Bream head walk, but I'm actually doing it as a day walk with my friend, and that means we can actually do it in the opposite direction that I would otherwise, so effectively I'm doing it northbound. So we're going to do that. So technically I'm doing a flip-flop Slackpack today. So just finished our climb up a gazillion steps, which I'm very glad I didn't have to go down with a pack. So we're on Mount Lion, which is the high point at the southern end of the ridge, and then we do a ridge walk with a few up and downs for most of the rest of the day. We're in the clouds, so there's absolutely no view whatsoever, as you can see behind me, and it's all very misty and moody, everything's wet, pretty atmospheric. So we're about halfway along-ish, and we're at the junction where the track goes down to Peach Cove, which is the first dock hut on Te Araroa. If you want to stay there, it is exclusive use, so you book the whole hut and you get a code, so it's a bit expensive, and you have to go down like 800 and something steps to get to it, so worth considering. But yeah, otherwise you'd probably do this in a day, I reckon. You can see on my right here these big cliff faces, which is the rocky formation. It's quite these imposing bluffs, and what that is these are remnants of a series of offshore volcanic islands that formed on both sides of northern New Zealand millions of years ago, and they've left these eroded rocky outcrops. So Bream Head is one remnant. The Hen and Chicken Islands off the coast are other remnants, and the Waitakere Ranges down in Auckland. So we've reached the top bit, so the track heads down now. This is the bit where you can go out. There's no formed track, but you kind of just go out and then scramble over some rock, and you get up on top of one of these big rocky outcrops and you get epic views. But you can see it's very windy and we're fully in cloud, so we won't be going that way today. No desire to slip off wet rock and land on an oil tanker floating in Whangarei Harbour 500 metres below me. So we'll head on down. We go down now and start our descent to Ocean Beach. We're out of the trees just about now. We're starting to get some pretty amazing views looking down to Ocean Beach. So if you are southbound, you'd be coming up this way. Then make sure to stop and look behind you every now and then. That's the Whangarei section done. I do owe to walk so from Urquhart's Bay, where the trail ends, around to Raotahi Bay, which is where you take the boat across the harbour. However, it's only a 7 kilometre section, and over 5 kilometres of that is road walking on narrow, winding, sealed roads, and we all know by now how I feel about narrow, winding, sealed roads. So I'm just going to refer to the old adage, hike your own hike, and I'm actually just going to skip that section. I don't see much point. We're not going to do the crossing, we're just going to get dropped off at Marsden Point when we start again. So there's kind of I don't see much benefit, and logistically it would be very difficult for me to walk that section anyway, and I wouldn't enjoy it. Good morning everyone. It is day 27. Hard to believe I'm at 27 already. So I'm, as you can probably see, slackpacking once again. So I've been dropped off today on the other side of Whangarei Harbour, and I'm going to be just doing about 10 k's today as far as Ruakaka River. You can only really safely cross it right on low tide, and the tides at the moment just do not line up at all. But so for today, I suppose you could say it's a Nero. So another one of these hiking terms that's been borrowed from American hiking culture. As you can probably guess, a Nero is a day that is a near zero day. So it's a day where you don't hike many miles. It's incredibly hot and humid. It's been insanely humid the whole last week up here in Whangarei. You can see around me, like if I turn this way, like the cloud base is basically at sea level. So there's a lot of wisdom from Te Araroa veterans about how you shouldn't get too involved in planning your trail because things change and you just kind of need to go with them and not get upset about it. And that's probably a good theme for this particular video. As you can already guess, it's very, very disjointed. We planned the section from Cape Rainga to Auckland in quite a lot of detail. It's our first time doing a long distance hike, you know, first time doing resupplies, so we wanted to really plan all that out so we wouldn't be stressing about it as we were kind of getting our feet. Now obviously straight off the bat, coming off the beach, we disrupted that plan because we had a whole bunch of zero days. Certainly didn't plan on Angie leaving the trail for a time, and I certainly didn't plan the section around Whangarei playing out like this. I've been here for a week. I've done 2 sections, or this one included, as day hikes, and I've skipped a section of road walking. So, you know, your mind naturally starts to worry that have I delayed too long? Am I too far behind schedule? Am I going to have time to finish the trail? But to be honest, you know, Southland and Bluff are so far away and so much can happen that there's really no need to even think about them at this point. And I just need to come back to our plan always from the outset, which was let's just start and see how far we get. And I think that's the mentality you want. It's pointless, I think personally, doing a through hike as a goal-based experience, because the goal is getting to Bluff or getting to wherever the end of the trail is, and there's no fanfare, there's no trumpets and parade and award ceremony. It just finishes and then it's over. If there's ever an experience that adheres to the old cliche, it's about the journey, not the destination, it's got to be a through hike. It is all about the journey, and it doesn't matter so much how much of the journey you do. What matters is the quality of the journey. So, you know, my experience around Whangarei is quite unique. It's probably not going to be what a lot of other people's experiences will be. But, you know, I've got to spend a week with one of my best friends and her family, and there's value in that, you know, as part of my experience on the trail. So, yeah, just go with the flow, and you know, if you get a couple of days where you don't have to hike with a pack, hey, I'm not going to turn that down. And you know, maybe I'm behind schedule, maybe I won't even get to finish the trail because winter will arrive, but so what? I hope that's just tannins from river water. Got a lot of rain last night. So I just walked right through that. It's been about 40 minutes. Done like 2.5k. Another use for these bundles is a makeshift chest strap in a day pack. Quite handy. Never leave you behind. Couple of kilometers to go now until I reach the river. I'm very slowly running out of beach as the tide comes in. So I'm just about at the end of the line for me today. I'm just about at the river. Not much beach left to walk on. But that's okay. I will show you, I will go all the way to the river though, just to show people. So I'm down at the mouth of the river now. I'll spin it around and show you, but yeah, looking at it, you certainly would not be wanting to attempt to cross it right now, I wouldn't think. And across the other side there you've got Ruakaka, so tomorrow morning we'll be dropped off on the far side and we'll carry on down, and then we'll be back with our packs into the last section, hiking back into Auckland, so that will be exciting. And yeah, I may have someone joining me for the last section, so I'm not going to be on my own, so stay tuned for that.